podcast logo. That's right, everyone. It is time for
Yay!
the Island Podcast. I see Chazzy, the CEO, is clearly ready for the beach. The self-proclaimed sports analyst, he's got to look snazzy in his golf shirt, which, again, short sleeve golf shirt today. But again, comment down below if you feel a golf shirt can be long sleeves. We're still 50-50 on the podcast on that one. Of course, we got Dan Moore, Mr. Moore for his money.
Woo!
And we have Lane Dashing Dashco. And I got to say, he is always very dashing, very dapper. Dashing, dapper, Lane Dashco.
Oh, yeah.
Gave you another adjective, good sir. But
I feel like there's too many D. I feel like it's too many D's in a row. It's like dashing, dapper, dashco. It's too many.
Dog. We'll call you dog. Dabbing dog, Dasco.
That sounds like he's going to steal your dog.
It's a good screen name.
Yeah, exactly. Stand steal a girl, come steal your dog. Wolf, wolf.
Anywho, that's something that we're going to lose a lot of brain cells for. But Leafs tonight facing the Panthers in a very important game 3 for both teams. Leafs can take a stranglehold. Panthers looking to get back in the series. We also have the big game between the Jets and the Stars. Stars are looking to get back in this series. The Jets looking back in the series. Stars looking to take a stranglehold. And tomorrow morning at 6 a.m, which I will set an alarm to be awake for this.
What?
Team Canada plays game 1 of the World Hockey Championship. Have you guys seen the rosters yet?
No.
Stack.
Well, since Dan said no, guess what, Dan?
I know 3 players.
Guess what, Dan?
What?
Well, bam. There's an ad, but when I close the ad, well, bam.
Ooh.
The roster.
Can't see
So, our forward group here, take a look and see what you think. I'm going to share the show and make sure everyone knows we're live right now. But you mentioned, Chazzy, that you feel it's stacked. Dan's a floating head right now because he needs glasses, but he won't admit he needs glasses.
My eyesight's perfect, Will. That roster does look stacked. Wow.
Well, how do you guys feel?
For this tournament, it is. For this, that top line, or just those top 5 players to be available at this time of the year?
I don't know if it's accurate because there's more coming. I know Braden Shen already announced he's coming, so there's more coming.
Oh, there are, and so's Nathan McKinnon. So expect this team to look even deeper than what it is here.
Holy cow.
It's basically, it feels like the Four Nations team just said, hey, that was fun. That was a fun tournament. Let's go do this now because half of us are not in the playoffs. So let's just run it back again.
Because
you got the same
Olympic
goalies.
Pregame, Olympic warm-up.
Basically, the same goalies, really.
Yeah.
Binnington's coming back, so you got Fleury and Binnington again.
Wow.
There's going to be a stacked team. I think this Canadian team is expected to do a lot of damage.
And we'll see if Marc-Andre Fleury really retires or not.
Oh my
I think he will. Oh, he's for sure.
He's got to make a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
But that is an interesting point you bring up, Dan. I think it's funny. He just announced his retirement. You're like, okay, he's going to go off. He had his little, his farewell. And then, 2 weeks later, he's like, I'm playing hockey again. It's like, well, that was quick.
This is
I
Tom Brady.
Saw his quote on that, though. It was quite funny. He's like, I went home. The kids were loud, so I figured I better go back.
It was like Tom Brady's retirement. It was like, oh, yeah.
Exactly what I'm thinking. Exactly.
But when you look at this team here, it looks pretty stacked. And I wouldn't be shocked to see maybe potentially Cale Makar joining this group as well. I haven't heard that yet, but I wouldn't be shocked. But I mean, you look at the defense, you look at the goaltending, but
maybe
the U.S.
getting a haircut
also looks pretty stacked here as well, right? You got Matty Beniers, Logan Cooley, Josh Doan, Connor Garland, Clayton Keller. They can't pull any Leaf players yet, which they're used to having all those Leafs available right now. Tage Thompson, the guy who was left off the Four Nations roster that I felt should have been on the Four Nations roster.
Yep.
And then again, you look at this defense. I'm interesting to see Cole Hudson, Lane Hudson's relative.
Oh, right.
Very curious about that. I'm actually a little disappointed there's no Lane Hudson on here.
Yeah,
Call him up.
Guess he's tired.
He needs his sleep. And
Yeah.
they're bringing 3 goaltenders versus Canada. Will probably also be getting 3, even though this is showing 2, because Lane pointed out that Binghamton should be on his way.
Yeah, so I don't think that. So they should have 3.
With the Jeremy Swayman.
Jeremy Swayman would definitely be your starter.
Yeah, for sure.
However, don't be shocked to see Joey Decord still getting some playing time.
I'm disappointed Jonathan Quick isn't going.
Dude, he is old.
I know, Mark Jafari's old. What's the point?
My point is
Oh,
that old people can only do so much in a day. They need their beauty sleep. You should
I'm
know.
old. I'm still here.
You are a spring chicken. Mr.
Well, I'm a hockey player. I'm almost old.
Well, that's a comment that I don't know how to respond to. But all right, so obviously that tournament's starting up, but let's get into the Leafs.
Yeah.
Panthers. I sent all you guys a challenge on the Streakers app about what's going on there and how are we feeling about this game going in. I think Florida's going to play an even better game than they did in game 2. Yeah. I think Joseph Woll is going to face a lot more rubber, even though he was pretty busy in game 2. I'm expecting to see even more shots on Mr. Woll. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think Joseph Woll is going to be very busy.
I do agree. I think that this game is the most important game for the Maple Leafs since the Cold War has been a thing. Because this is the farthest the Maple Leafs have ever made. We're guaranteed 6 games. And last time I made the second round, they only played 5 games. So I think this is the most important game for this group. Also, I want to quickly point out a fan of ours up in Sault Ste. Marie, as we got fans worldwide, is predicting the Leafs are going to go up 3-0. I was talking to him earlier today. So regardless you're from the Sioux or down in the Hammer or chilling in Muskoka, down in Toronto, Barrington, wherever, you can comment with us live right here, right now, and join the island.
Okay, so then when are you guys? Oh, and I've got a viewer here on Instagram saying, what a stellar lineup. And I don't know if you're talking about the Leafs or you're talking about us. Either way, thank you. Because we're all stellar. Yeah, that's an Instagram comment. So unfortunately, I can't put that on the screen the way we can with Facebook and YouTube. And
is it Paul?
Lame like that. Pardon?
Was it Paul?
No, a good friend of mine, Sean. So it'll be interesting to see here kind of what the Leafs are up to. I'm not expecting any line changes for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. You know what, Lane, you were talking about this earlier too, and you don't feel they need to rush Anthony Stolarz, at least as of right now. You think it's okay to leave Joseph Woll in the net, whether Stolarz is good to go or not.
100%. He's the hot hand, right? I feel like they've done this all year. You saw this earlier in the year where Stolarz got hurt. They put in Joseph Woll. He got hot. He ran the team for a bit. Like, this is how this team is built up. They're built like an actual team this year, So one thing that Kyle Dubas never really understood, and I'm not saying that he's not a smart manager, but I think he just kind of looked like he always looked at the assets and the stats and the numbers, and we're trying to crunch every number and say, oh, this number. But you can't measure heart. You can't measure a team bonding experience. There's no like the 4 of us, if we work together, there's no stat that says, oh, these 4 guys will work together. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, 100%.
And, and I feel like what Treliving really did in the offseason, you heard him say when he came into the season, he said, I don't care about this 4 nonsense, these 5 guys, 4 guys. What I'm going to do this year, I saw it last year, I'm building a team, and it's what he went out and did. He got Pacioretty. He got Lorentz. He got Ekman-Larsson. He built a decor. He got 2 really good goalies that can come in, can go out. So they've got a really good system so that no matter who's playing in net, they got a good coach that has the experience to be able to adjust the game plan depending on who's playing in net. And I feel like everybody's really bought into that system.
I totally agree with you. Hey, Shades.
Yeah, we got a viewer here that feels the boys are hyping or at least stranglehold on the Florida Kitty Cats.
Oh, Kitty Cats. For fighting over the litter box.
But I will say here, Florida, though, is going to come out flying tonight. There is no doubt in my mind that the Florida Panthers are going to come to play.
It's going to be a hard game for the Leafs. Very, very, probably most challenging game of the year.
In theory, though, every playoff round should get harder.
100%.
Right? So every playoff round should get harder. It should be more of a challenge for this team. And again, we're going to see it again tonight. We're going to see a big, big challenge. And one thing I'm finding very interesting, when you're looking at the Leaf point getters, who's also averaging a point per game for the Leafs is Max Pacioretty.
Yeah.
2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points and a +3, while only playing 12 minutes a game on average. Also, though, he's also leading the team in hits with 34.
Wow. Yeah, I heard that. It's crazy.
Wow.
So he's 34, and then your next is Bobby McMahon with 27. Although McMahon's been quiet on the score sheet, he's been physical.
Yep.
Lawrence with 23, Lawton 23. Funny enough, Marner, 18 hits, Matthews 17. That's a surprise for me.
That is surprising.
I'm surprised to see Marner is playing so physical. But it's interesting to see in the last game, the Leafs actually out-hit Florida, which was a surprise. Dan, mute your phone.
I just did.
Mute your phone, buddy boy. But a big stat here, too, has been the face-off circles. And, I mean, when Shades talks about that the Leafs are going to try to take that stranglehold in this series, the face-off circle is going to be critical.
Oh,
the Leafs have been dominating in the face-off. Best team in the playoffs at the draw. Well, Florida is currently 15th statistically.
Wow, that low, eh?
Yes, they have really struggled on the face-offs.
I'm surprised with center like Barkov and Bennett are that low in the draw.
Tavares is just so good on the dot.
Yeah.
Hey, Shades, I can't disagree with you either. You know what? They bringing in a guy like Max Pacioretty with all that playoff experience. You're looking at his contract now at a league minimum, and you just got a big smile on your face, right? He's been able to do more than what people were expecting.
For sure.
Yeah, he's been.
I know you don't like us Leafs. Please don't tweet Maximum Pacioretty and tell him that's not 2008 because I think he thinks it's 2008. I'm not happy with it. No one remind him. No one be like, no, it's 2025. No, it's 2010 when you were in your prime. Yes, yeah, you're right. It is.
Maybe he hopped in the DeLorean, went back in time a little bit, 88 miles an hour.
Calendar.
Yeah.
But I will say, and Chazzy, I want to throw this to you here, since I feel a lot of times you bring Leaf fans back to reality. Florida's coming home. I do not expect Florida to bend easily tonight. Could you really see Florida getting a big win tonight?
I do, but I don't want to burst your bubble, because I do think if you do win this game, then that's sort of a stranglehold, and you have 4 shots for one more win to take it the Panthers with the discipline and with the way that Berube has this team right now. Like, it's going to be hard to take them off sort of that rocker, right? They seem to be mentally stable. Nothing's going to get them. Marchand's not going to get under their skin. So, but now they're in Florida, different crowd, home crowd for Florida, much different team, much more hype. Kachuk's going to be in his A game. So, we'll see what happens tonight. But yes, you're right. Absolutely. Florida's going to come with everything tonight. Mind you, they played really well in game 2. So
they did, yeah.
But the Leafs shut them down. So.
I do want to comment. I find it funny that Dan's commenting instead of just saying words. But Dan is happy that they're joining the Streakers Gaming Island. I'm not sure what we're gaming, but that's okay.
Well, the app, bro. We're gaming on the app.
I'm just busting your balls. It's fun to do. But when I do think Florida's going to come out flying tonight. I'm expecting some line. I'll be honest. I think we could see some line changes. I'm actually going to look up the Panthers lines off Daily Faceoff to see if they have any updates, because I felt Florida at times, although Paul Maurice seemed very happy with his lineup in game 2, I felt at times they looked flat. And no, it's looking pretty standard. I mean, Ekblad hasn't been suspended yet, so that's good for Florida. Because, I mean, just give him time. He's only been able to play 1 game. I'm sure he'll get suspended again soon. But we're looking here at the Florida Panthers lineup, and
Rodriguez is back.
Still feel they're really missing out not putting Bennett, Kachuk, and Marchand on a line.
I agree with you 100%.
Just try to, if you want to try to bait Toronto and taking some stupid penalties, my gosh, that's the way to do it.
It's like the best line in NHL history of a.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Most annoying line in NHL.
Now, Evan Rodriguez, no embellishing when you go head first into the bar.
Did he come back? Did he come back?
He did.
Yeah, he
but
did.
Still, it should not have been an embellishment penalty. That was ridiculous.
No,
But he did get hit from behind.
That's the
He
thing. He
did.
shouldn't have gotten an embellishment penalty.
I agree. Yeah,
Like the Leaf guy Lawton definitely deserved the penalty. It was a hit that crossed the line. But speaking of behind the back, hitting from behind calls, did you guys see the missed call in the Oilers game last night?
Yeah, Dasko was talking about that really bad in our group chat.
Yeah, Mark Stone was not too pleased as last night there, and I don't blame him honestly. Like, the Edmonton Oilers got a 5-minute power play, and then there's that trip. It's blatant. The ref's looking right at it, and they don't call that. It's like, come on, man.
Well, yeah, and I think it was so much too. They called the 5-minute major for the cross check, which, to be honest, yeah, it probably was a 5-minute major. Although I didn't love a 5-minute major in overtime. Personally, I thought maybe a double minor since he was bleeding, but at the end of the day, I don't know what the heck he was thinking. But Edmonton definitely should have went shorthanded there.
Yeah,
like
the fact that they scored a minute later too is even
oh my gosh,
dagger in it too.
But what a goal!
Oh,
but I'm interested to see here from Shade saying expect some wild card calls in Florida's way. I actually think this series, besides of the embellishment weird one, I think this series has been officiated pretty decently.
Yeah, so far so good.
Like we're seeing it where, like the teams are they're kind of letting them play, which I think is what is realistically what you want to see in a playoff series. We've been complaining about officiating. Let's be honest, we've all complained about officiating quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, and see, look, Shades even agrees with me. As soon as I get my mouse to the right screen, is the issue when you rock 3 screens. Very true. You're right, Shades. I am true. That's why I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst. But who do you guys see taking this one so far? Yeah, I agree, Shades. It's been a pretty much just let them play.
Yep,
which is exactly what you want from a playoff series. I think this is something that I'm just going to keep it a buck. I think this is something everyone has wanted from all the other series that they're just not getting.
Yeah, 100%.
We've seen some really weird calls and some really weird non-calls. And wait, you said 3 screen analysts. Who isn't the analyst here? Like, I'm definitely the analyst.
No, he means because you have 3 screens on your decks.
I thought he meant like
no. We're all analysts at heart.
No, I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst. You guys can be what you want. I gave myself that title back in Sault Ste. Marie, as they used to say the joke in. But who are you guys taking tonight in this one? Is Toronto taking a stranglehold or is Florida getting back in the series? I'm going to go last. Lane, let's go to you, Mr. Dashing Dashco.
I think Florida. I think Florida will win it just because it's their first game at home. They know how important they're the defending Stanley Cup champions. They know they have to win this one, and I feel like the Leafs. You don't want to say they can afford a loss, but they did what they had to. They won both games home. The way a series goes, these are the games you're targeted to lose. Florida's going to come out hungry. I would be happy if the Leafs won. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like Florida will at least get this one in the bag.
So we got one Florida. Dan, who are you taking tonight? Are you taking the Leafs or are you taking the Panthers?
Well, originally I said this series was going to go 7. However, I think this Maple Leaf team is, I think I said earlier, this is the most important game for the Core 4. And I think this is the first time we've seen the Core 4 actually play better than in the past. And one thing I find interesting of a fan of the show who was commenting with us last time, Mr. Connor, was down at the Florida game during the regular season, last game of the season, and the arena was kind of half empty, half full. And, that usually you see a lot of mixture of Leaf and Florida fans, so I don't know how that's going to play out. But I think if anything, it might be advantageous for the Leafs because it's less drama, And but this going to go in there. They're going to go confident, and I think the Leafs are going to get it.
I don't know about the crowd being an advantage because I think normally I would be very interested to see how many Leaf fans make the trip.
Yeah.
Again, we're not going to get into everything, but everyone knows it exists. Oh, we're getting a prediction from Shades. He's just dropping in saying, Chazzy, I'm not letting you go next. I'm going next. And he's saying Leafs tonight, Florida. I believe he means Florida Sunday. They won't be playing back to back. But you know what? I could see that happening as well.
Oh, interesting.
So
yeah.
Right now, since Florida next game. Chaz, he's like, oh no, I gotta correct myself right away. Like, ah. So Chazzy, who are you taking here? Are you going with Dashing Dashco and Shades, or are you going with more for your money?
I'm gonna stick with my calls and continue to roll the dice and think the Panthers will get back into this series 2-1. Game 4 might be a different story, but I think tonight, if the Panthers are going to stay in this series, it's got to be tonight.
So the reason why I let all you guys talk is because I needed the room. This game will be the most important game in this series. However, if Florida does lose, Florida is not done. If any team will come back from a 3-0 series deficit, and if any team is going to blow a 3-0 series lead, it is the Florida Panthers coming back and the Toronto Maple Leafs blowing it. I see Dan is getting already prepared by drinking his sorrows away, thinking about the Leafs blowing a 3-0 series lead.
His root beer.
But I actually think the Leafs are going to take a 3-0 series lead in a very tightly checked, contested game. I think we have seen the end of the high-scoring games in this series. Now, I said that about Edmonton Vegas last night, and they're just like, screw you guys, and they decided to put up a real dinger of a game of Aiden Hill allowing 2 weak goals, letting the Oilers get right back in that game.
Yeah.
But the Leafs, I feel, will win tonight. I'm going to say the same prediction I did with Ottawa, sorry. Then Florida's going to win game 4. Florida's going to win game 5. Half the people on the podcast are going to panic. Talking to you, Lane and Dan. Sorry, guys, but you two are going to panic. I'm going to be like, hey, it's all good. It's all good. We'll win in 6. Leafs will win in 6. And that'll be the end. Desmond the Moon Bear. He's chugging the Leaf Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
That's thing we're thinking. So we're pretty much split right down the middle here for tonight's game.
I think it's gonna be that tight of a game. What will we do?
Except Shades breaks the tiebreaker.
That's
so
right.
We're adding Shades in this conversation because why the hell not?
And
that's where we're going here. So but I do want to say, how important is this game for Bobrovsky?
Oh, it's important.
Yeah, he's got to start getting going here.
Because let's be real, he struggled this series, right? He has not been able to make the saves when he's been called upon, unlike Mr. Wonderwall, he's our Joseph Wall.
Oh, yeah. So maybe.
What do you do if Wall gets rattled tonight? 5 goals and a 2.
Murray.
No, I think you got to leave him in.
Gotta put Murray in there.
And honestly, too, I don't see Joseph Wall getting rattled.
I will say with Joseph Wall, I'm hard on him because why not? Well, not hard in a good way, but I get hard on him just to make things entertaining. But I will say when he allows a bad goal, he usually recovers very quickly. He's very good at that.
He does, but Lane, I want to ask you then, how are you feeling about Florida's goaltending so far in this series? And do you think Bobrovsky can turn this around, or are we kind of seeing Bobrovsky of a couple years ago and not Bobrovsky of the last 2 years?
It's just hard to say, right? Because Bobrovsky's just that kind of guy, right? Like you said before, he's kind of a weird guy too, where sometimes it's like he's on his money. You can't really stop him. You can't beat him. That was at least last time. It just felt like Bobrovsky, sometimes he hits a level where it's just like, he's Sergei Bobrovsky. but he's had moments in his career where he looks like this, where he just kind of, he doesn't give you the big saves. Sometimes he struggles getting the big saves. So he's been an up and down goalie. I feel like if the Leafs can keep scoring, I think that's the key. Even if they don't win, they just got to keep scoring. Don't get shut out. Don't get 4-0 and then 4-0 because that's when I feel like you're in trouble. I feel like the second you get shut out, Bobrovsky's going to become Bobrovsky. But if they can just keep getting 1 goal, 2 goals, even 3 goals, just keep the pressure on him, I think they'll do well. But they got to keep putting the puck in the net.
I can't say I disagree with you there, Lane. Like, I think with Bobrovsky, if he gets on a roll, the Leafs could be in some trouble. And I mean, it sounds weird saying Leafs could be in some trouble when they're up 2-0 in a series. But in my opinion, and this is no disrespect to whoever,
Only in Leafs Nation.
the Leafs, in my view, I cannot be confident with them until they've done more than what they've done. And yes, I agree with you, Dan. This is the best the Core 4 has ever done, being, winning the games they've been able to win and pushing it to at least be 6 games. But until they make it to the third round to do what they did in the early 2000s and the 90s, I'm not convinced. So I'm, as much as I'm saying Leafs will win tonight, I'm still not convinced that they're not going to be able to get it going. And it looks like, Lane, you have someone who agrees with you. Congratulations. Good old Shades is saying Lane is right. It's a big game. Is big game Bobrovsky showing up? That's who wins. I think goaltending will be critical in this game. Whether it's
100%.
or Bobrovsky, someone is going to have to make a save that will blow your mind at one point in this game.
Yeah, 100. Oh,
I'm not quite planning the parade yet. Although, as a former event planner, I do like to have lots of time to plan an event. I'm not quite planning the parade for the Maple Leafs just yet. But but moving on though to the Jets versus Stars. How critical is it for the Jets to find a way to stop Rantanen?
This is the series tonight. You have to get game 2.
So you absolutely have to get game 2 if you're Winnipeg. You don't have a choice.
Oh, yeah. I said Stars in 4, boys. I still believe it. I mean, telling you, Mikko Rantanen, man, we talked about it before. We'll talk about it again, but Mikko Rantanen is going to come. He's on fire, and I feel like he's just on that legendary run where I don't think anything's stopping him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think he's Michael Jordan the way you guys were talking, but he is playing very good.
However, though, big thing for Winnipeg is Morrissey is back in. It looks like both Morrissey and Logan Stanley are both back in the lineup tonight. Very big, impactful defensemen. And I think you're getting defensemen, especially in Morrissey, that'll fix that power play. Because that power play looked bad in game 1.
Yeah.
So is this the freshest or the healthiest the Jets have been in the playoffs?
This is the first time this playoffs the Jets will be playing with a full lineup.
Got it.
Interesting. That
So
should definitely help. Logan Stanley's a very underrated defenseman, especially when he plays with Luke said. Boy, he's a good dude.
now Daily Faceoff is not showing Logan Stanley in the lineup, but he was practicing today in a full contact jersey, unless they're choosing to leave Hayden Fleury in instead of Logan Stanley. I mean, Hayden Fleury has been playing great. We have another prediction.
Yeah.
Whoa,
5-3 leaves tonight.
Whoa.
Animation.
We're seeing another high
score.
People are predicting high scoring games. I'm not.
Ooh,
but
interesting. So one for me, because all of you guys picked Florida, including Shades, and now I got someone with the Leaf side.
Shades has Toronto tonight.
Mikko Rantanen.
But Jets win.
Oh.
So Shades is calling it. Mikko Rantanen has a big game, but the Winnipeg Jets hang on. And like I said, the big reason for the Jets is going to be, I'll put my mouse over them. Apparently, I'm going to bring up his stats, so we're going to look at them. Josh Morrissey. He is out there for 91% of this team's power play goals. Like, that is the big stat that I'm looking at here. I didn't know you could do this on Daily Faceoff. We learned the fly on the Streakers Island podcast.
See, like I said in the group chat, learn something new every day.
Do you think he's healthy enough, though, Jacob? Like, this is the question. Like, he's been really hurt all year. He missed the 4 Nations. He's been banged up in and out of the lineup. Like, I'm not trying to deny that Josh Morrissey, you can tell by the stats, he's a fantastic player. But what percentage of Josh Morrissey are you getting? Are you getting 50? Now, it may not matter, but still, you have to ask the question. Are you getting 20% Josh Morrissey? Are you getting 60% Josh Morrissey?
That's a
He's
good
Josh
point.
Morrissey, and I got to say, I do agree with you, Shades, the Hattie journeyman of Mikko Rantanen. But with Josh Morrissey, you're getting someone that is a difference maker. Even at 70 to 80%, if he can just fix the power play, Neil Pionk has proven he can be the top guy defensively, right?
True,
Like, he's been playing at another level in these playoffs. But it's going to be tough against this Dallas team. I mean, the big thing for the Jets is you do have Connor Hellebuck playing well. You do have the healthiest the lineup has been. I'm sorry, I do not agree with Ryan Reeves in the lineup. As much as I love the Leafs, I'm not putting him in my lineup.
That's what I've been saying, especially after the Sam Bennett situation. Put Weevil back in, play him as 5 minutes, take care of the boys acting up, and move on.
You can't do... Okay, I guess we're back to the Leafs, so screw it. You can't do that with this Leafs lineup. You look at the way Berube likes to balance the minutes. You can't have a guy like Ryan Reeves who, if you play him more than 5 minutes, he's going to need the same vomit bucket that Anthony Stolarz needed.
No, just have the oxygen take on the bench.
Well, Dan, someone agrees with you at least. So
Yeah!
But, man, I don't see it making sense to bring in Ryan Reeves into the lineup. This team has been playing so well the way it is. Why make the change?
Why not, said the fireman? Why not?
I feel you're better with a guy like Pacioretty in the lineup than you are with a guy like Ryan Reeves, a guy who's leading the team in hits. I think it's been the hit factor more than the fighting that's been what Toronto has needed. But the reason why I'm saying about Ryan Reeves, your lowest average minutes out of your lineup is Holmberg playing just under 12 minutes, 11:57 a game. I don't really see Revo being able to do that. And see, I agree with Alex here. Dan's going to flip his lid. He might throw his hat at his camera. I don't know. But Robertson is more value to the lineup than Revo.
Robertson? Oh,
yes,
come on.
At least Robertson can play. Like, all Ryan Reeves can do is threaten to fight people and then not fight them. I love Ryan Reeves. I think you want him in the dressing room.
I was just going to say, man, you want him on the trip and everything.
Stab for the viewers. But you cannot put Ryan Reeves back in this lineup. Dan, you got someone else that agrees with you. Not a fan of Nicholas Robertson.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will say one thing. He falls down a lot.
Oh, we got another one about Weebo.
Man, apparently Ryan Reeves is the hot topic.
Everyone
bladed bugs. But as Max is pointing out, welcome to the conversation, Max. Revo will be back in the next game after the Rat and Bennett the Menace run wild tonight. I don't. Okay, you know what though? I'm not that concerned. If that's the way Florida wants to play, fine. Like, we want to change the whole bloody lineup now. Honestly, I would be totally against pulling Holmberg out and putting Robertson in.
Holmberg kind of had a weak game the last game, to be honest.
He hasn't had a great playoffs. Robertson does add speed and scoring ability to that third line that really needs to get going.
He has a decent shot, too.
I can't say I'm against that move. And to Alex's point, I would be really looking at bringing in Nick Robertson into my lineup well before Ryan Reeves. There's quite a few players I would bring in before Ryan Reeves, truthfully.
Like David Kempf.
Yeah, I would take David Kempf.
Where's another great one, too?
I would take David Kempf over Ryan Reeves. I'd take Steves over Ryan Reeves. Maybe even potentially Alex Nylander.
But he didn't do much when he played in the season.
No, Alex Nylander. We don't need another lineup mistake.
Well, that too. In the lineup will be okay.
No. We'll get confused. It'll be like overtime, and Brady will be like, Nylander in the wrong one. I'll go, not you. Do you think we see? By the way, I forgot to ask you boys. What do you guys think about this whole new trend with the savvy meter? What do you guys think about this?
What?
Like it or not? So basically, after in the Ottawa series, whenever the Leafs scored, Berube likes the coaches to be chill. He likes everyone to just be level-headed. And Mark Savard, one of the assistants, every time the Leafs scores, he does this little woohoo, and Berube just looks at him like, "Do you want to get fired?"
Yeah,
Every time. It's so funny. So Sportsnet has been ranking them because he'll try so hard. He tries so hard to hold it, and he'll be like, he's trying to, and Berube's always like, I just think it's funny.
I'm
That's every goal.
surprised.
Every goalie does that.
What's that?
He does that on every goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what they do now is when they score, they'll show the benches and they'll rank it on 1 to 10. So the one where they scored the empty net, it was an 8 on the savvy meter because he was all woohoo! He was jumping up and down, and Berube is just standing there shaking his head I don't approve of this.
And see, Shade is saying the same thing that you guys are saying. No, Alex Nylander, we can't have double names.
Yeah, seriously. Who's on first?
But all I meant with that was, I just think there's a lot of guys I would bring in before Ryan Reeves just because of his playing style and his minutes he can play. And I do get what Shades is saying here again, where he can squash the rat. And I think the Leafs a couple years ago, they'd be worried about that. And yeah, Elliot was showing that. You're right. Elliot Friedman was showing the crowd, the coach height meter thingamabob, patent pending. By the way, you're not sponsored by Elliot Friedman, but Elliot Friedman, if you'd like to sponsor, you can. Anywho, and Alex brings up a great point here. Hella buck or hella fraud tonight.
Oh, back to Winnipeg.
Let's get back into the Winnipeg Jets series here, boys. And I'm saying hella buck, not hella fraud.
Interesting, yeah.
Hella buck had a good game in the first. I know they lost, and his stats weren't jumping off the page, but he was good. I thought he played well. I think he will. I think he has to. I don't think Winnipeg can beat Dallas with so-so goaltending.
It's kind of like what we said about Wall, right? He made the big save when he needed it. Kind of like we talked about Pickard with Edmonton. The only problem I see with Hellebuck or how a flawed everyone you get, you're paying him $8.5 million. And in salary cap world, that's a problem. You're paying Pickard the AHL Wonder $1 million, and Wonderwall $3 million. 8.5 is a problem. You're getting the same result, I think. But
yeah, but the
people would pick up a second line center if they only paid Hellebuck less money.
Calvin Pickard, though, is doing enough. I think the Jets to beat the Stars need more than just a big save here and there. I think they need a lot more, and I think I really do feel Hellebuck will play well tonight.
I think so.
I just don't think he's better than Jake Ottinger. Not that he won't play better. I just think Jake Ottinger is a better goalie. You saw in game 1, Otter makes the big saves. When he gets hot, he's a weird goalie too. I feel like once he gets hot, there's no stopping him. If they can get to him early, they got a good chance. But once Otter gets a few saves under him, he's unstoppable. He just makes so many crazy saves. I don't think Hellebuck can do that in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's tough, right? But Hellebuck, when you say he can't do that, I thought he did that in that St. Louis game in the double overtime. He made the big save he needed to. You look at when Velarde just decided, I don't want this anymore, and passed it like straight and
That was scary.
And Hellebuck made that huge save. And I felt in game 1 against the Stars, Hellebuck played fine. Yeah, Ottinger also had a strong game. This is a series where it's going to be up to goaltending. Jake Ottinger has been outstanding in these playoffs, and I'm not denying that. But I go back to that game 1, and I personally feel it was close. And Max makes a great point here, too, about Hellebuck. I mean, he's about to win his 3rd Vezina. It's kind of hard to assume that he's going to play bad.
Yeah,
that's wild. 3 Vezinas.
Yeah. That's unheard of nowadays.
And I'm seeing a lot of people
one second round.
4 Nations. I thought Hellebuck played very strong in the 4 Nations, even though they lost. I can't say he played poorly. So now let's go around and put in the comments as well. Who's winning tonight, Winnipeg or Dallas? I will go first this time since I won't take up 18,000 years to explain why. Winnipeg gets back in the series. The whiteout is the difference maker. Kyle Connor with a huge game. Winnipeg wins game 2. Lane?
Dallas, as my boy Dan says, Stars in game 2, baby. I said Stars in 4, I'm sticking to it. I just think Mikko Rantanen is on a different level. I think Otter's a better goalie. I think they're the better team. I think they have better scoring up and down their lineup. I just think they're too much to handle for the Winnipeg Jets. Yes, you're getting Morrissey back, but again, if he's not 100%, what level can he play at? There's a lot of questions. I feel like Dallas is the better team.
Shades, it looks like Shades is taking the Jets. All right, Dan, I'm going to let you go next because I'm a very nice person.
Well, thank you, good sir.
Are you?
I mean, not really, but I like.
I don't exactly remember where the Stars came from, but I think it's from SpongeBob with Patrick. I'm just going to put that out there. But anyway, back to the point with the hockey game. I think I'm with J-Mo 100%. Brotherly love. I think the Winnipeg is going to get it, and I think the whiteout's going to be the difference. I think Hellebuyck will play better than what he has been. I don't think we're seeing the Vezina Hellebuyck quite yet, but I think he's going to play better than what he has been so far in these playoffs. And Jacob said Connor, the difference maker. I see Connor may having a good night, but I think my Barry Coast boy, Mark Seifley, is going to be the difference maker tonight for Winnipeg.
Scheifele did have a really strong game in game 1, even though they couldn't quite get the job done. Ottinger just played, as Lane said, Ottinger is arguably the best goalie in the league, and playoff Ottinger is another level. But Chad, where are you leaning? Are you leaning towards Mr. and Mr. Moore? We're not married, by the way.
It's okay if we were, though. Well, maybe not lovers.
Leaning towards the dashingest man on the screen, Lane Dashing Dashco? Where are you going, Mr. Chazzy, the CEO, the
I agree with Lane in regards to if Dallas wins tonight, it's done. It's 4 straight. But as a Canadian, I'm hoping for the Canadian teams that Winnipeg does get this game done. But going down 2, going back to Dallas, forget it. You're not coming back for that.
We'll say interesting point here by Max. Dallas is stacked. Wyatt Johnson, more playoff points for the age of 22 than anyone not named Sid Crosby.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I remember when the Stars drafted Wyatt Johnson. Dan's like, "Who's he?" I'm like, "No. He's a superstar." So we're kind of. I do agree with you, Craig. Though Winnipeg has to win this game.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds weird. I'm less concerned for Vegas being down 2-0 than I would be for Winnipeg being down 2-0. Because let's be honest, that bubble in Edmonton has to break at some point.
Well, Dallas is healthy. They have their full squad, and they just get more momentum if you get this game. So
you heard it here first. Or maybe not first, but you heard it here at the most important
puck
time.
Drop already, boys. Oh, wow.
Puck drop is very, very soon. Like, look how soon it is. By the way, we are not sponsored by the guy who drops the puck, but he would like to sponsor us. He can. Anyways, I'm not surprised we're kind of split down the middle here.
What would happen if a referee sponsors? We could never question any of his calls. That'd be very strange.
And we've questioned a lot of officiating in these playoffs.
Yes. Like Ball Smith getting hit by the boards, that was crazy.
Quickly before we go, Dan, I'm going to let you tell me how I was wrong and how Washington really stepped up in game 2 against
100, bro. And you know who got it done? Wilson! Why would you do that? Okay, I'm trying to blow up some speakers and subwoofers, Get some warranty claims in for the auto business. What are you doing, bro? Hopefully people are listening when we're driving and not watching when we're driving.
I do agree, though, Dan. Tom Wilson was the difference in that game. Ovechkin had a quiet night. That is my big concern if you're Washington right now, though, is the crowd's not really into it. Ovechkin looks like he kind of he won a series. All right. Cool. I want to go home. You've proven me wrong, and this is why I've never. When everyone tries to compare Crosby to Ovechkin, I'm like, get wrecked, because you would never see Crosby putting in the effort, the lack of effort that Ovechkin's been in these series.
Ovechkin needs to put some vodka in one of these, baby, and get
Alex is
going.
apologizing to all the subwoofer guys from Dan's yelling.
Oh, sorry, Alex. Sorry, Alex.
However,
Lots of
Max
Danny
loves the
excited.
passion.
Love the passion, Danny.
I think the difference is Max is probably not wearing headphones because he worked with Dan. He knows how loud he is. Remember, Chazzy, myself, and Max have all heard Dan snore. We know how loud this man can be. And so did James. Danny's just hyper. Then again, Alex has seen me fall asleep on top of a washing machine in an old Jeep. So who knows? I mean, we've all lived some crazy lives.
Sweet J-Bo.
But before we go, as puck drop's about to start, I do want to say quickly around the room, and Chazzy, I'm going to let you go first here. Is Vegas done? They're down 2-0, lost both games at home going into Edmonton. How big of a lead is that for the Oilers, and how much of a chance are you giving Vegas in a percentage level?
I would never count Vegas out, but I'm hoping the Oilers keep this up because they're on a mission.
My ice cream.
And thank you, Max, for the compliments. And you know what? I make Dan get off his butt to get his own ice cream.
Oh, he does too.
I'm going to say for Vegas, if they lose game 3, Edmonton's not losing 4 straight.
No.
This Oiler team looks different.
Yeah.
He's going to value a win with his ice cream.
Oh, there we go.
If the Leafs
All
win
we
the
do is
Stanley,
win no matter what.
if the Leafs win the Stanley Cup, I will get Dan a bowl of ice cream. How about that? I agree with you, Alex. Thank you very much. And go Leafs, go.
Yeah.
That the Oilers are almost screwed. I'm saying screw you, Dan. The Washington Capitals are losing in 6.
No.
Lane, I love you. That's all I got to say. Dashing Dashco. He knows where it's at.
That's right.
But
Yeah,
I think this time we sign off before Dan yells at me for telling him that Washington is going to lose in 6.
Washington versus Leafs final conference East. Let's go.
Kids, Shades, I'm 30. My co-ops think I'm old because I use Facebook. Oh, but Dan, I'm sorry. Shades is on my side. Washington out.
Oh.
Quickly around the room, actually, before we sign off. Lane, Washington, give me a percentage. What's the percentage of Washington beating Carolina, going back to Carolina's barn? Give me a percentage.
30%. Like, I think Carolina took one there. They actually played pretty. I know Washington won, but we were right about that prediction of the 18 shots. I just think Carolina's a better team. They'll win both their games at home, up 3-1. I think it'll be 6 games.
I'm going to give Washington a 15% chance of coming back in this series.
That's it.
They're not playing well. Their star players aren't playing like star players. Strome's been quiet. Ovechkin has done nothing. Tom Wilson, the way he's running around, is going to cross that line and get suspended at any moment.
No, you probably ever play an embarrassment penalty.
They're hitting the ice, boys.
So then we should sign off. But Craig, quickly, give me a percentage.
What, the Caps?
Are the Capitals winning the series? Tied going into Carolina.
Oh, I'll say 40%.
So you're the most optimistic. Dan's probably saying 10 times 10.
No, I don't think it's 100. I think it's a good solid 60% Washington's taking the series.
But I think it is time we sign off. So thank you very much for watching the Streakers Island pod to the cast. If you are looking for more Streakers content, make sure, since I even thank you textly.
Yay.
Make sure you download the Streakers app to play along with us in our sports booth. The app is improving every day. Quickly before we leave, Helen is better tonight. Starting to gain confidence. Jets will be much better from your boy, Adam, 23. Thank you very much for the comment, Adam. I apologize. I don't see the comments as quickly. But, again, we got to go. We got to watch the Leafs. Dan needs to eat his food, or else he's going to grumble to me all night that he didn't get to eat early enough. And I got to listen to it. Chazzy, you know what I'm talking about.
Pizza and ice cream. Let's go.
But thank you very much, everyone, for watching the Streakers Island pod to the cast. Looking for more Streakers Island content? Make sure you follow us on all the social medias. We'll get back up and running for the next live stream. And download the Streakers app. If you haven't done it, you're an idiot. I'm kidding. You're not an idiot. We love you. But download the app.
Bye-bye.
Not a trap. See you guys later. And remember, Elliot Freeman, you can sponsor us anytime. I actually would love sponsorship from someone. So I miss you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.